What's good, Chun, man? Talk to me, man. What up, man? What you want to get
A
to?
lot been going on. But I do want to start this by saying that, I realize in the profession that I am, and the reason I'm talking like this is because I had this conversation the other day, and I realized that in the profession that I work, they don't have what we have. And let me explain by that. What I mean by that is a lot of people use pride. A lot of people's pride is in their way when they open up to somebody. When you want to say certain shit. You know, like, damn, is this person gonna look at me a certain way if I express myself to him or her? You know, and with them, it's like, this is what's in my mind, and I'm gonna say it to you.
Yeah.
There's no, if I say it like this, like, damn, like, you got demons in your shit. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like that. Mm-hmm. And with me and you type, you know, it's like pulling teeth from a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way you gonna know if I'm gonna like it or not is if I say it to you, yes or no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is, like, pride really gets in the way of really opening up to somebody.
Hell yeah.
And if you just let that down a little bit, because I work with people that's, the other days, he's 6'6", 200 to 300 pounds, you know? And I gotta come in front of this person.
Yeah.
I gotta come in front of this person and tear everything down that I have in me, and so he could see that I am coming with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? I've let my guard down and really let him in to say, this is a safe place. You don't have to feel any type of way, or you don't have to, like, you know, feel judged if you come to me and talk to me.
Yeah, you don't have somebody judging.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking every day. I am trying to change someone's behavior into a calm behavior. I'm trying to redirect them into a different understanding and perspective of life.
So you felt like that's
We can't do this shit with regular niggas like us.
So you feel besides your job, like that's the space that you in life right now?
Yeah. Relationship and with regular friends, like, you know, family and all of that. It's like,
you be seeing.
It's none of that.
You like to read, right?
I love it.
You be seeing that dude on Instagram, Wallow.
Yes.
Wallow.
Yeah.
He got a book out. It's called Armed with Good Intentions.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good read for you. And like, he spoke what he wanted it to be,
right.
And this woman called her name is Raquel.
Right. Yeah.
They call her Rock. She looks like Indian-ish, but I think she's like black or whatever the case is, right? But she used to run with Joe Buttons back in the day when he was on Love and Hip Hop and all that shit.
Okay.
If you remember when he was on there, he had a female best friend and she was like dark skinned-ish,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? But she wrote it.
Okay.
So she's the writer, he's the, you know what I mean? But it's his book, he spoke it, all his words and everything,
right.
His stories. His story is, you remember Gilly the King from Philly?
Yeah, right.
That's his cousin.
Got you.
You know, they do a podcast together right now.
Yes,
that's his real life cousin. That's his younger cousin.
Right.
Wallow was into the streets. He did 22 years in jail.
Got you.
He only been free for 7 years.
Okay.
So that's his story, you know what I'm saying? So he's saying what
his mindset versus in there coming back out here is different.
And you see him on Instagram, what type of, he's an inspirational person. He's giving you words of inspiration, you know what I'm saying? So I think when you was talking to me about what you were saying, it was that hit the title of his book popped in my head, because you like, I'm armed but with good intentions, baby. I got you.
Like,
we're here. You could tell me whatever you want.
Oh my God, yo, not to like go.
And when they open up,
not to go into my job too much, but it's just like there's times where I have to like sit on the floor, literally, like, and this person is beating on themselves and this and that, and I have to sit there in a safe space and say, listen, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to redirect them of their, you know, anti-assistance and all of that. But we get into that. But it's just like, why can't that be with someone else that is not on that spectrum?
That shit makes you fall. Yeah. So you could have, like, you have that. I was just gonna say, you have that same convo and that same type of mindset with a kid. You go into it like, I could be straightforward with him because they not. kids are not jaded until a certain age.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about like quote unquote regular folk, you know what I'm saying, and from a certain age to another certain age, we so jaded. We been through shit, and like you saying, it's like pulling teeth having a convo with any type of human being that's been through something, and they don't want to be vulnerable no more.
I'm not saying for people to be like, I'm being a therapist and shit and come crying on my shoulder and all that shit. I'm not saying none of that shit. Because there's some shit that I've said to, you know, in relationship wise, because we're going to take it there. And that shit got thrown back in my face. You know, and vice versa. The other way, I'm not throwing it in your face. You know, but then it's more of, is this person actually being real about it? You know, are you actually concerned about my well-being? Or are you actually concerned about my emotions, my mental state and all of that? And it's like, yeah, I am. But then in your world, you don't think I am because you never experienced that. You never been through that. So you don't know how a person is a person concerned about you. You know, you don't see the traits or the layout for it because you never been through it. You know what I'm saying? You never experienced someone, and in your world, you probably do experience someone concerned about you, but it looks totally different from my glass.
Okay, so
you know what I'm saying? So if I care for you, right, and someone else cares for you, you're gonna gravitate to what suits your desire. You know what I'm saying? So then it kind of fucks up the other person to say, yo, I'm genuinely, like you said, good intention. I'm genuinely trying to fuck with you. Yeah. I'm genuinely trying to be here for you, and I'm showing you that I'm concerned. But this is where the pride comes in, and you don't trust me because I talk to other bitches and they did all the same shit that you did. Cry, you know, and it really fucks up the whole dynamic of like dating, my nigga.
Most of the time, they picking an asshole person. That's like,
because the asshole suits, like the other day, right? The other day I had to like literally, I'm very observant, and I was, you know, talking to homeboy. And he does this thing while he's talking with his hand, you know, and it's a comfort mechanism of sensory, you know. I'm not trying to get into my job and shit, but it's a sensory thing of more of let me express myself to this person, but I don't want to feel embarrassed. So let me do something, because niggas do shit like this, and niggas don't know that they, you know, twisting their fingers trying to express themselves. Because of the simple fact that they don't know what's gonna come out the other end of your mouth. Yeah. So let me, you especially, you're telling me your life story, but you're doing things that, in my profession, if I'm sitting down with a homeboy who's 6'6" and 300 pounds, he would do that because he's trying to express himself. But that's his sensory of saying, let me get something out. How am I gonna get this out? Let this person understand without me feeling like, damn, I don't want to pick and choose, but I want to say it. I gotta say it. A lot of niggas is like that nowadays, you know, and it comes from, and it stems from, you know, your past, your traumas, your lessons, your peers,
your jadedness. You know what I'm saying? What you've been through and how you got hurt. Everybody gets hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody been hurt.
It just depends how you carry it and how you move about it. Like recently, like I had a bad experience like that with somebody. You know what I'm saying? That tried to like weaponize a mental thing against me, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I kind of like turned the switch on, and I was like, all right, see, this is what you brought out. And then I'm not, like, when it ends, I'm not going, that person did such and such, so I had to. No, I decided to do this because of what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like every action is a reaction.
Yeah, so I'll tell you off camera when we get off camera, because I don't want to put it on here. You know what I'm saying? I know what to put here and what not to put here. But it was almost what you were saying at the beginning of the other conversation. Like, when you just when somebody is genuine, but it's coming off wrong, and it's like, damn, I don't know how to take this right now.
Is it wrong to you? Because someone else could act the same way.
Somebody else could be like, nah, I like how you telling me. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the person. All right, when I bring people into my circle,
right,
I like to study them and see what they about. You know what I'm saying? And see what ticks them and what doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But when I find things out like that, I'm not trying to. I would never throw it in your face. But for some reason, it gets thrown in my face, my insecurities and my inner thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, I've been holding on to like seeing what you've been doing, and I've been like not replying. You know what I'm saying? So then when I reply, it's like, damn, you the bad guy, nigga, cause.
What you saying? How you reply?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like how you respond to that person.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, okay, so this is how I say it, right? Once you know how to approach somebody, once you know how to talk to somebody, you know how to get certain things out of someone. So it all starts with how you approach that person. You know, you can't approach with negative, right? Yeah. You can't approach sadness with sadness. So it always has to be the opposite of what you're doing, and that's where your pride comes in. Lower that shit down. Lower it down so you can understand that person. And once you understand that person, you know how to approach that person. You know how to talk to that person. You know how to move. But a lot of people don't know how to do that shit.
And that's why I was trying to stay away from the conversation that, like, the lead off conversation that led to everything else.
Right.
I was trying to stay away from it, but it was just like, it was right there. The conversation was right there. You know what I'm saying? You're going to know when I tell you. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Let me ask you this, right? I think we had said this in one of the other episodes. We did say it in one of the episodes. About, you know, what is good and what is bad, right? Everybody's good and everybody's bad is different.
Yeah.
Right? So it's more of like everybody has their own person type shit. You go into something, right? And you going into, like I said, going into good intentions. You know, your mind is there. You're not going in thinking I'm being sneaky or anything like that. With the sense of you doing all of this, right? And you're being yourself in all of this shit. You can't get upset. You can't get upset with someone that doesn't have a need for your service.
Oh yeah. I took the saying,
but some people get upset with it.
You know the quote, the saying, "You made your bed, you lie in it."
Yeah.
I took that, right?
Right.
And I just added something to it. Yeah, I made my bed and I lie in it. I always live by that, right?
Right,
but this is what I added to it. But when I decide to make my bed again, don't get mad at me, cause them bed sheets gonna get dirty, and I'm gonna want to change them one day. So don't be mad at me when I decide to clean my bed again.
I mean, but yes, you're absolutely right. But then in a sense of you,
it's a nice little add-on to it.
But in a sense of you, you know, what you said? What was the last quote you said? The last sentence?
Oh, I made my bed, so I'm a lie in it.
Right.
But when I decide to fix my bed again, don't be mad at me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, what if, right, this is just, you know, going into this topic right here that we want to talk about, right?